Here are 15 secrets in Rust that 99% don't know. From the light ones to those that will actually blow your mind. For example, did you know that if you shoot in the tunnels under any monument, no one will hear you, even if they are right above you? Or that you can push a siege tower into the air on the launch site and catch your enemies off guard? And that's only a small part of today's video. So before we begin, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel and check out today's sponsor. Rustly is one of the fastest growing Rust websites with a lot of games to play, many deposit methods, including skins, cards and crypto, and instant withdrawals with a store full of skins. You can claim 5 free cases by using code STELIC or clicking the link in the video description. You can battle against real players or bots in games like Case Battles, Coin Flip and even Minefield, and win cool skins. And if it's not enough for you, you can get a lot of bonuses and free cases every 24 hours. In fact, you can get 5 free cases right now if you click the link in the description or go to rustly.com and use code STELIC. And now, let's get back to the video. If you find a car that looks like a pickup truck, you can use it without fuel. Sounds too cool to be real. However, you won't be able to drive it. If you jump into the boot, start jumping and press E button at the same time, you can use this car as a skateboard, pushing the car while staying in the same place relative to the boot. Yes, you won't be moving very fast, but I'm sure you can definitely surprise your teammates with such a trick. If a crate is dropped at an airfield, everyone who lives nearby fights for it. And the best place to control it is from the tower next to the main building, where you have the best view of the whole airfield. Being on top makes you almost invincible, as you have a perfect view of the crate and everything going on around it. And if someone starts shooting at you, you can immediately hide in this corner. However, this tower has one downside. When you want to go down, there might be a few campers waiting for you at the bottom. You can deal with them in 2 ways, using these holes in the floor that give you a perfect view of the entrance, or using the main building. All you need to do is find that pillar at the bottom, speed up a bit, and without pressing the spacebar, jump down. If you hit a pillar while flying, you will take no damage and catch your enemies off guard. And now let's play a little game. I'm gonna show you a trick, and you'll have to write in the comments whether it's true or not. So here's the fact. If you don't want to poison yourself with pickles, you need to drink water before each time you eat them. So if you eat just 5 cans of pickles, you can refill 250 satiety. Do you think that's true? Write in the comments. You can use the siege tower to get to the craziest spot on the launch site. If you just start pushing the tower into this cliff, it won't fall, but will stay in the air on an invisible texture. What's even crazier is that you can jump onto this tower using the wheels on the sides, and then use the same wheels to pull the tower into the middle of the cliff. But it's gonna take some time. I'm sure you've never seen anything like this before. So using this secret trick, you'll be able to camp in the craziest spot on the launch site and no one will be able to get close to you. As you know, the default field of view in Rust crops the image at the edges, which can lead to a lost fight because you simply cannot see the enemy from the side. To fix this, we usually go into the settings and change the FOV to the maximum value. However, if you open the settings, go to the Screen tab, change the mode from full screen to windowed and click apply, you can narrow the window like this, so you can make the image even wider and see even more details around the edges without losing any FPS, and the image will look like you are playing on a widescreen monitor. And this trick will help those playing on a bad PC. You can use the draw distance setting to clean up objects on the map, reducing the load on your PC. The thing is, once an object appears on your screen, it stays there for a very long time, even if the distance to it gets pretty wild. This applies to buildings, other players and animals as well. To make this distant object disappear, simply reduce the draw distance to minimum and increase it again. This will reduce the load on your PC and slightly increase your FPS. What do you think is the loudest sound in Rust? I'm not talking about peak volume in decibels, I'm talking about the range of sound. I'm sure the first thing that came to your mind was some kind of explosive like C4 or a rocket. Yeah, you can hear them far away, but there are louder sounds in the game. You may be surprised, but the sound of a landmine can be heard a little further away than the sound of any explosive, but even that isn't the loudest sound. Because the loudest sound is the cargo ship horn, which can be heard well squares away. So keep that in mind if you want to be the first on the cargo. Here's another interesting sound trick that you definitely didn't know about. While you are in the underground tunnel under any monument, not to be confused with the subway, the sounds of gunfire will be completely silent and no one above will be able to hear you. Even if your enemy is standing right above you on the ground and you are below him in the tunnel, he still won't hear the shots. If you have been farming in the winter biome, found a raided base with no ceiling and want to see if there is anything left inside, but you don't have a ladder to climb out, well, let me show you this. You can just jump down, check all the boxes and then jump onto the TC without any problems. All you have to do is press spacebar and shift at the same time, then press Ctrl in the air and you can easily jump onto the TC. With this method, you don't need a ladder or any other item to climb out. And if you've just built your base and want to save it while you are flying, you can use this secret psychological tree. For example, you have a little 2x1 with not much loot. If you want to protect it, make this base as ugly as possible. Seal the entrance with wooden walls, attach signs with some trash talk, make the base look as shabby as possible. Who in their right mind would want to raid the base that already look like shit? That's right, no one. So you definitely won't need to worry about your base until the next day. If you like to survive on a tugboat, you need to know how to keep your loot safe. If you know you're about to get raided, put all the important loot in your backpack. Go inside the boat and throw this backpack next to the door. Next, go into the cabin, open the map, mark your current location and swim at least 2 squares away from here. Once you have sailed far enough away, go back into the room and pick up the door. As you can see, the backpack is gone. But it didn't actually disappear, it teleported to a marker on the map you left before. So, if you sail to this marker, you will find the backpack with your loot here. By the way, you can teleport multiple backpacks at once to save as much loot as possible. And here's another way you can save your loot, but this time on a missile silo. If you can't go outside because there are campers waiting for you, go downstairs and find the control room. Go inside, turn right, and in the far right corner find this console with switches. Put all your loot in your backpack and throw it in this corner. As you can see, the backpack has fallen into the textures and is completely invisible. So now you can go outside, and if you fail, just come back later for your backpack, which I'm sure no one will find. A new high-caliber revolver can be much better than you think if you use one little secret. And that secret is that you need to use Incendiary Ammo instead of the usual 5.56 ammo. If you hit an enemy in the head with a regular ammo, you won't be able to take out either the hazmat or the metal mask. However, if you use Incendiary Ammo, you can easily take out the hazmat with only one headshot and the metal mask with 2, one to the head and one to the body. As you know, a chain link fence or a chain link door will not protect you against bullets. But if you use 2 fences, you won't take any damage. However, this doesn't work with the turret, because it doesn't care how many fences are in front of it. It will still deal damage to you, while you can break it, because fences will protect this turret. And finally, here's the most interesting secret. Sometimes playing Rust can be difficult, even if you are an experienced player. But this video will make it easier, thanks to these 20 tips that you should start using in Rust.